How's it going, folks? My name's Andy, and so Tobias Harris just got traded again. Previously, I made a video talking about Tobias Harris having a phenomenal season and it looked like he found a permanent home, but apparently that's not the case. The full details of this trade look like this. Now, at first glance, it looks like the Clippers gave up an all-star caliber player for peanuts. But this is actually an amazing trade for them, a low-key genius move by the Clippers front office. Here are 3 reasons why this was a great trade for them. 1. Tobias Harris was on an expiring contract, and although he's having a breakout season, he's not going to be worth over $30 million a year, which is what he wants in free agency. The Clippers are obviously trying to free up cap space in 2019 free agency to sign a superstar or make room for an Anthony Davis trade. Either way, they're gonna have a lot of cap space. 2. The Miami Heat's unprotected 2021 first-round pick. Now, we don't know where Miami will be in 2021, but for all we know, they could still be where they are right now, which is around the middle of the pack. In that case, the pick will probably be a late lottery pick. But if Miami does happen to fall off by 2021, that unprotected pick could be really good. Like, if they suck, it could be a top 5 pick. That's crazy good value. And number 3, this trade makes Philly better. So why do the Clippers care? Well, because since Philly is better, they could give the Raptors a harder time in the playoffs. And if the Raptors happen to get knocked out earlier than expected, Kawhi might leave. And if Kawhi leaves in free agency, what was his preferred destination again? Oh yeah, the Clippers. Or maybe the Lakers too, but you get the point. Additionally, this trade also messes up the Celtics' plans to get Anthony Davis during the summer. It's clear that the Celtics are trying to get Anthony Davis, and they do have the 2019 Clippers first-round pick, but only if it's top 14 protected. With the Clippers trading away Tobias, I don't think they can keep it up and remain in the playoff race. If they fall out of the playoffs, that means the Clippers keep their 2019 first-round pick. I don't really know how important this is, but it does mess up the Celtics a little bit, especially if they were considering including that pick in a potential Davis trade. Also, because the Clippers are basically tanking the rest of the season now, that means the Kings might sneak into the playoffs, which means the 2019 Kings first-round pick, which the Celtics also own, will have less value as well. So, even after decades of retirement, Jerry West is still getting his revenge on the Celtics. Anyway, what does this mean for the Clippers and the Sixers for the rest of this season? Well, like I just mentioned, the Clippers don't care about how the rest of the season plays out. They have a bunch of expiring contracts, and their goal is to enter 2019 free agency with only $60 million on their payroll, enough for 2 max contracts. Kawhi could be one of them, and they also set themselves up to maybe trade for Davis because they still have a ton of assets, particularly the 2021 Miami first-rounder they got back. Also, they kept Danilo Gallinari on the roster because he's making $22 million next year, and his massive contract could be used to match salaries if the Clippers trade for Davis or another star. It makes the deal easier. I believe that's the sole purpose that Gallinari is still on the team, because his contract could easily help them match salaries in a trade. Some might wonder, well, the Clippers were in a good spot. I mean, at one point they were near the top of the West, and even now they're not that far off from a top 4 or top 5 seed. They've shown that they could compete with any other team in the West. But that's not the plan. Even if they're good, they don't want to play all season just to get eliminated in the first round. Ever since Jerry West came on board as an executive member of the front office, they've been making moves to set themselves up for a great future, to create a legitimate super team who could compete for a title. This Tobias Harris trade pushed them even closer to that goal. So what does this mean for the Sixers? Well, unlike the Clippers, the Sixers want to contend right now, and they can. All of their moves they made are helping them reach their goal. Now they essentially have 4 all-star caliber players in their starting lineup. Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid, Jimmy Butler, and Tobias, who's been playing like an all-star all season long. Before the trade, it was clear that they were a step below the Toronto Raptors and Milwaukee Bucks, but now I think they're right up there with them. Of course, there's a couple factors like team chemistry, but Tobias has always been a great teammate. Despite getting traded like 5 times in 8 seasons, he fits in great on whatever team he's on. However, the Sixers bench is a bit weak, but they did get Boban and Mike Scott, who are both decent players. The Sixers will be on the lookout for players on other teams getting buyouts or getting waived, and then they could pick them up and shore up their bench. They did give up 2 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks, but only the Miami 2021 pick has legit value. But hey, they got back a young, borderline all-star for that. I'd say it's worth it. The main question is, what are they gonna do in 2019 free agency? Tobias will be a free agent, and Butler has a player option that he'll probably decline, so both of them will be free agents. And the Sixers will have cap space. But will they cough up like $150 million contracts to both of them? I'm not sure about that. I guess it's gonna depend on how far they get in the playoffs this year. But that's a lot of money, and it'll put a stranglehold on their team for the foreseeable future. And that's all, folks. That sums up the details of the Tobias Harris trade, and why it's a genius move for the Clippers. It's actually a great trade for both teams, considering the situations they're in. In the future, when it's all said and done, I think we'll look back and say that the Clippers got the better end of the deal. But that depends if the superstars they want actually go there, or else all that cap space goes to waste. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on the trade. Who do you think did better? And do you actually see the Sixers reaching the finals this year? Thank you everyone so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, I'll see you next time. Peace.